What is dopamine? Dopamine is a chemical that we release in our brain, which, in simple words, is responsible for pleasure and reward. As an example, you want a chocolate, and your brain says, hey, you know if you get that chocolate, it's gonna be delicious, right? So let's try chocolate. And when you fulfill that act, your brain releases a dopamine, which is a chemical to reward you for the thing that you've done. And that is what essentially makes you feel good. The important thing is, dopamine is not only released when you get the thing, it's also released when you are anticipating. It's released way before when you get the first thought about a particular thing. For instance, a fast food might cross your mind. Now, most probably you watched an advertisement or you saw a video or a promotion that planted a cue in your brain. The moment you think about that fast food, your brain releases dopamine. It's the same when you think about women, video games, alcohol, whatever it is. We have established that dopamine get released when you think about a craving, desires, and urges that you have. What's even more interesting is that dopamine level actually drops below your baseline or your base level, and it makes you feel kind of sad and makes you feel that craving. And it tells you, hey, you remember how good we felt just now? If you get that thing, if you get that fast food or chocolate, we can actually get the dopamine level back up very high and you could feel good about it. So your brain gives you the signals to restore your dopamine level back so that you could feel better again. It's safe to say that's the reason why you want to sometimes indulge in cravings and desires. Maybe you want to get that ice cream 2 a.m. in the morning and you just simply don't know why this is happening. Well, it's simply because you had that idea or somebody planted the idea in your mind. Maybe you saw an advertisement, you had some dopamine release, and then your brain was like, let me drop the dopamine level below so that he could feel bad or he could feel the urges and cravings and he would want to go out there and pursue that thing and finally get that fast food or chocolate to feel better. So the point is, dopamine gets released not only when you achieve that thing, but also when you are anticipating it. It could be a trip abroad, a wedding party, new pair of shoes that you're gonna buy. That is essentially how dopamine works, and it's important to establish that before continuing to the next chapter of this video. Dopamine is the real matrix. If you watch the movie Matrix, you probably are aware of what it is. It's when you're not aware of something bigger than you, which keeps you under control, manipulates you, and you might not be even aware of this. I'm pretty sure you questioned whether or not we're living in a matrix or we're being controlled by somebody. Now I'm gonna take it a step further and say that dopamine is the real matrix nowadays. Modern companies use evolutionary instincts like survival, social approval, validation, and reproduction to lure us into wanting certain type of activities. Video games, why is it so addicting? You can easily level up and earn points there, buy skins, and become the best character there is. It's very addictive and definitely easy to achieve. Try achieving the same results in real life and good luck. Adult movies. Our need for reproduction and our want to be dating a beautiful girl with impressive features, which in a nutshell means social approval and validation, all are typical to human nature. We want to satisfy ourselves, of course, but do you want to meet real women and go through the discomfort of talking and awkward silences? No, let's just swipe left and right and find the best looking content with the best looking women. Last example, social media. Not much to say here. Social media companies have long figured it out how to keep our attention locked in one place. You think there are no teams of experts trying to figure out what's the best way to keep your attention and to keep you hooked in their platforms? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that social media is bad and everything is bad and just go live like a monk in the woods. What I am saying is that all of these sources of cheap, fake dopamine are businesses, and the main goal of a business is to make a profit. Do you really think they care about your environment or your well-being? Maybe, some, but they're not doing something bad or good. They're simply making money. They're simply being a business. They're doing the things which will bring them the most benefit and profit. The truth is, adult content wouldn't exist if nobody was watching it. The same with video games, alcohol, drugs, and many other things. It's because it appeals to our evolutionary, reproductive instincts that it became so popular. So there you have it. Companies trying to make money. In the middle, customers, just like us. We want to buy flashy clothes. We want to impress people, buy the latest iPhone, eat fast food, and indulge in video games day in and day out. Because why? It's easy. It doesn't take a lot of effort to click on a button and start playing your video game. Our brains, they don't like discomfort. They want to make us feel safe all the time. Why waste time doing hard things and getting little dopamine when you can simply click on a button or swipe left and right and get a huge release of dopamine? Now, doesn't this sound like an analogy to Matrix? You're spending money, resources, and energy to hook your brain up into getting a lot of dopamine. Now, I'm not saying there's an Illuminati family behind all of this, but what I am saying is it's really beneficial to those companies and corporations trying to make money. They love the fact that you're spending your money on buying skins and upgrades in your games, because at the end of the day, they're the ones seeing the benefit. Debunking dopamine detox myths. You can find loads of videos online of people doing dopamine detox for 24 hours, seeing the benefits, kind of resetting their brain for success. Not gonna lie, when I saw these videos the first time, I thought this was a legit system, legit scheme that works, and you could just turn off entertainment and cleanse your mind. Now, what actually happens is that when you try to make a change overnight, you end up with the similar results, meaning easy come, easy go. No significant change can be done in a short amount of time. Heck, even going for a week doesn't make it that substantial. That's why I would question the effectiveness of this type of videos where they claim to be changing their lives in 24 hours, living like somebody for 24 hours, or trying dopamine detox for 24 hours and being a new reborn man. It doesn't work like that. Change is slow. Always has been, always will be. If you want to stabilize your brain, bring your dopamine levels back to normal, and make a substantial change, it has to be a gradual process. Ask yourself, why do I want to do it? Why do I want to indulge in fast food? Do I understand the repercussions? Or why do I want to play video games 3 days in a row? Why am I hooked into adult content? It probably comes from an underlying issue that you've been neglecting for a long time. When I had my Xbox and I would play for hours and hours, it was mostly because I was disoriented, bored, and aimless. Instead of choosing to work out, I would prefer to keep updating my career mode in FIFA and keep leveling up myself there, because it feels good and rewarding. Then I started seeing through the BS, meaning I read some books, stopped procrastinating, started facing my fears. One of the first things I did was to remove the queue and accessibility, meaning I just sold my Xbox. After playing it from time to time, I realized it didn't get me nowhere, so I also gave up watching adult content. I wanted to have more charisma, more confidence, and control over myself. Watching adult content would make me a desperate dude trying to get some cheap fake entertainment. So I realized this and I would ask this question, hey Beck, is it the type of man that you want to be? Are you going to be under control of these cheap desires and instincts? I started lifting weights and embracing the uncomfortable. I didn't look that good and felt a bit insecure when I was at the gym, but hey, it's only a matter of time until you start seeing results. So the actual dopamine detox is to gradually remove your cues and make them unattractive. If you're addicted to your phone and your social media platforms, stop following these hyperactive, hyper-stimulating pages. Change the color of your phone into black and white if you have to. More importantly, start making cheap dopamine difficult to access. It might sound weird, but whenever I see chocolate, I start visualizing literally sugar and me swallowing the sugar, and just feels disgusting. To think that you would want to drink 30 grams of liquid sugar, it doesn't sound delicious, does it? The real dopamine detox happens when, instead of looking for cheap, easy solutions, you start gradually exposing yourself to fake dopamine less and less, and thus giving yourself more headspace. The point of this video is not only to teach you how to actually dopamine detox and reset your brain for success, but also to teach you the skills like critical thinking, skepticism, and independence. Double check your belief system. When you see ads online or the billboards, ask yourself this question: what does the advertiser want? Is he trying to sell me something? What is his benefit? Or why is this chocolate so damn tasty, right? Why is this fast food tasty? Are they using some type of chemicals to make me more and more interested and intrigued by their flavor? If it's so freaking tasty, should I be consuming it? Or does watching adult content give me social skills? Does it help me build charisma, confidence, and self-esteem? The moment you start asking these questions and stop being dependent on whatever horseshit you are being fed on a daily is the moment you're finally taking control of the cues and responses in your brain. Understand that cheap entertainment can skyrocket your dopamine release and make you feel good, but it's fake, doesn't last long, and gets you nowhere. Doing hard things, on the contrary, might give you less dopamine, but it definitely levels you up in real life. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I'll see you in the next one.